When people talk about where economic thinking really begins, they usually name the same figures: Adam Smith, Karl Marx, maybe Aristotle if they remember enough from school. But there's another story, a quieter one, that Western history rarely bothers to tell. Almost 1,000 years ago, long before capitalism had a name and long before central banks existed, a Muslim thinker warned about something we still struggle with today. His message was simple but uncomfortable. When money loses its moral direction, societies begin to decay from the inside. Looking at the world we live in now, it's hard not to feel like he understood us better than we understand ourselves. Welcome to Financial History, where money, power, and human behavior collide, and where things are never as straightforward as they appear. To understand Al-Ghazali, you have to step into a different world. It's around the year 1100. Europe is fractured and poor, still recovering from centuries of instability. Meanwhile, the Islamic world stretches from Al-Andalus to Persia. Cities are growing, markets are loud and crowded, trade routes are alive. Baghdad, Damascus, Cairo. These aren't just cities, they're centers of learning and wealth. Caravans move silk, spices, and silver. Scholars argue about philosophy, law, medicine, and the stars. Wealth is expanding fast, and society is changing with it. This is the world Abu Hamid Al-Ghazali lives in. He's many things at once: philosopher, jurist, theologian, and, more than anything, a sharp observer. By his 30s, he holds one of the most respected teaching positions of his time. But status was never the point. Al-Ghazali looks around and senses a problem. People are getting richer, but they seem less grounded. Money is everywhere, yet something essential feels missing. Outward success, inward decay. So he asks a dangerous question. What happens when a civilization becomes wealthy faster than it becomes wise? To answer it, he focuses on money itself. And this is where many people are surprised. Al-Ghazali wasn't just writing about religion. He was thinking deeply about economics, systems, and human behavior, all at once. To him, money was never meant to be worshipped. It wasn't an end goal. It was a tool, a means of exchange. He compared it to a mirror, useless on its own, valuable only for what it reflects. Money, in his view, mattered only because of what it allowed people to do together. That's why he made a blunt claim: hoarded money is dead money. Wealth locked away, removed from circulation, damages society. When money stops moving, work dries up, trade slows, prices rise. Al-Ghazali described this as freezing the bloodstream of society, a powerful image even today. And he wasn't just talking about personal greed. This was about systems. When the wealthy pull money out of circulation, scarcity follows, not because resources vanish, but because flow is blocked. He was equally critical of speculation. Merchants who manipulated prices, took advantage of crises, or profited from suffering didn't impress him. He didn't see intelligence there. He saw corruption. Whoever profits from the suffering of others, he wrote, profits from corruption. And corruption, once it spreads, doesn't stay contained. It moves through markets, institutions, and eventually the whole society. Al-Ghazali wasn't against trade. In fact, he believed trade was natural and necessary. Wealth itself wasn't the problem. Dishonesty was. Fraud, lies, false measures, hidden defects, these were the things that destroyed trust. And without trust, markets collapse. For him, economics rested on trust. Once trust breaks, everything else follows. He also believed deeply in the value of labor. Money earned through effort strengthens people. Money gained through manipulation weakens them. That may sound moral, but it's also practical. Societies thrive when people contribute. They decay when exploitation becomes normal. When it came to rulers, Al-Ghazali didn't soften his words. He condemned leaders who tampered with currency, reducing gold or silver content to stretch their budgets. He saw it for what it was: theft, a hidden tax that always hurt the poor first. The state, he believed, should protect markets, not distort them. Unjust rulers, in his view, destroyed societies faster than any foreign enemy. His conclusion was simple and harsh. A society can survive poverty. It cannot survive corruption. Economies don't collapse because they run out of money. They collapse because they run out of trust. Money works only as long as people believe in it. 1,000 years later, the pattern is the same. Weimar Germany, Zimbabwe, Venezuela, Argentina. When trust disappears, people abandon their own currency. Al-Ghazali understood human nature. People hoard because they're afraid. They speculate because they're greedy. They cheat when they think no one is watching. And once exploitation becomes normal, collapse is already underway. That's why he argued that fixing an economy starts with fixing incentives. Laws matter, markets matter, but human behavior matters most. He wasn't preaching, he was observing. Money isn't just a technical system, it's a moral one. And when that moral framework breaks, the financial system breaks with it. The world today looks like a larger, faster version of the world he described. Different technology, bigger scale, same instincts. And his warning still stands. When money becomes disconnected from morality, the system eventually fails. Understanding this isn't just history, it's self-defense. Because history may not repeat itself exactly, but if you don't understand it, it still hits just as hard.